All right. The Sort of Sports Podcast presents The Big Salad.
If it was a regular salad, I wouldn't have said anything. But you had to have that big salad.
On to Season 2, Episode 2, with the one and only, the host, Quinn Maseko.
Thank you, Ryan. And extra clapper Molly tonight. Well, it's good to be back again. Another small hiatus. Had a little hiccup in our schedule. And,
we're back for real. Back for real.
This could be technically called Episode 4 after 2 and 3 were canceled. But we'll call it Episode 2.
We'll call it Episode 2 for simplicity's
For
sake.
Season 2, yes. But this is the 10th episode overall, I believe, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes, so glad we made that milestone, and we're still here. And nobody's punked us out or canceled us on the internet yet. So
well, I think all 45 of our subscribers seem to like us pretty well.
Especially Chad Holt.
Especially Chad Holt, our number one fan,
yeah. He's in we're in his favorites, so. No, but the Big Salad features a mixture today of the St. Louis Cardinals ascending, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Blue Jays in a three-way tie for the wild card, the Panthers 3-0, but we begin today with, what do you make of Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams taking the NFC West by scene?
Well, I think, there are three teams that really stand out to me right now in the NFL. Two of them we're going to talk about later, and they're good teams. They're like, oh, you're surprisingly good.
Okay.
The Rams are the only team in the NFL that I've watched that I thought looked awesome. Mm-hmm. They're playing almost better than what I dreamed they'd play like, and I thought they were going to be in the Super Bowl and potentially win the Super Bowl. They were my favorites for the NFC. We both thought they were going to be studs.
Yep.
And some people wanted to push against that and be like, well, Stafford's never really been a playoff success. He's played 1-2 playoff games, lost them both.
Mm-hmm. In the wild card only.
Yep. And so it's like people were not believing in him. And I mean, he was on Sunday Night Football, sorry. He was on Monday Night Football last week. They looked awesome. And then this week they played, did you watch the Bucs game? That was the game where I'm like, all right, let's see it. Let's see it, because this is probably the two best teams in the NFC. And he looked like an MVP candidate. He's been amazing.
You can maybe argue against that in the NFC is the best, but go ahead.
What?
You can maybe argue against that they're both the best in the NFC.
Yeah, I think it's probably true. Those might be the two best teams in the NFC, though. And then he's single-handedly made Cooper Kupp a top 10 receiver. I thought he was pretty good before, but Robert Woods.
I think he was a top 10. Now he's a top 5.
Yeah, I didn't think he was top 10. Honestly.
Okay, how about I thought
top 15 he was top 15 to top 5. I think he's been incredible.
Top 5. Okay.
He's been tearing up fantasy leagues all over the place.
Mm-hmm. He's on your team?
No, he's not on
my team. Then who's on whose team?
I have multiple leagues. One of my leagues, I can't even remember, but
who
AJ has him in one league.
Okay, well, we'll give him some slack.
So I didn't take Cooper in any leagues because I always think he's a bit overrated, and now I'm like, oh crap, now he's actually super good because that's become Stafford's number one receiver, and Robert Woods has moved to the 2. Yep. And Robert Woods still had a great game the other day, and Darrell Henderson, if he wasn't out yesterday, he's been great for them too. And then we don't even need to talk about the defense. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey are two of the best players at their positions.
Yep. They're
both top 3. Ramsey might just be the best corner in the league. So
could be.
I'm telling the team's great on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. I'm finally starting to warm up to the jerseys. I'm always big on the jersey. I like the helmets. I've always liked the helmets. The jerseys I'm not a huge fan of. Okay. But Stafford's look absolutely amazing. Yes. That team looks awesome. And I think they're just as good, or if not better than what we thought they'd be.
Mm-hmm. And I think Stafford, he's injected some energy into this team that even though Jared Goff was good, I mean, he was above average. He was all right. Yeah, I give him above average marks.
Yeah, he's not terrible. It's just Stafford's electric. Stafford's made him electric.
Right, and if you see, he's in the woes of Detroit right now, as Detroit is defeated 0-3. So Stafford's probably lucky he got out with his head above water. But yes, the Rams offense looks potent. I thought they really picked apart the Bucs offense. Yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And I think that it is going to continue as they go on. I mean, they are probably in the toughest division in the NFC right now.
They might just West. Be. It's them and the AFC North are the two best divisions in the NFL.
Well, I don't know if we'll argue the AFC North yet because every team there has not looked really good except for.
Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. I misspoke. It should be the AFC West.
Yes.
Because that includes the team I was going to say that's been a good surprise.
Maybe not, because somebody's losing over there, and we'll talk about that later.
We're going to talk about... Can we talk about, like, my favorite team of the first couple of weeks, not named Carolina Panthers? Because I know we're going to talk about the Panthers later, but I'm saying...
What is this, the Rams? Are we talking about the Rams?
No. They're not my favorite team right now.
Oh, well, I don't know.
My favorite surprise team, because the Rams to me weren't a surprise. Mm-hmm. My favorite team to watch is the Rams at the moment. That isn't the Panthers.
Okay, that's your watchable.
That's the most watchable team because they're awesome. Mm-hmm. But the most, like, they're kind of my team right now. It's Vegas, baby. That team is fun. Darren Waller went from being a practice squad guy a couple years ago to, like, the second best tight end in the NFL. Right. He's better than Kyle Pitts by a mile. And we were all excited about Kyle Pitts. Waller's been a stud. Exactly. Henry Ruggs is good for them. We already knew Josh Jacobs was underrated once he comes back because he was out this week. Yep. And then Derek Carr's been playing awesome. I'm like, Gruden, He finally showed up. And I'm like, this is good to show the NFL, like, hey, sometimes you just give the guys time instead of firing them all the time.
Right.
And you get something. And I'm like, granted, we have seen some... Well, like last year, they had a pretty good year. They beat the Chiefs. Remember, they were the first team to beat the Chiefs last year, and everybody's like, "Oh, the Raiders."
Yeah, but they were 500.
Yes, and I'm saying last year we saw a bit of a spark, and then we were like, "Oh, never mind." So
Fitzmagic beat him, and
that destroyed the spark. I'm saying this year, I think they're legit. I honestly think
they've won 3 games already, so I mean, it's got to mean something.
And I think that AFC West has got 3 potential playoff teams. If the Raiders, because
it might have 4 because somebody else is undefeated in that league.
That's true, but I don't know how much I trust Teddy.
Hey, they're still 3-0.
They're the least likely out of those teams.
Okay,
Broncos.
Drop the zeros and get with the heroes, baby.
I guess that's true, but
this is a week-to-week overreacting league, so
that's
why I'm not going to put too much stock into it.
I'm putting stock into the Raiders a little bit, but not a ton. I think they're fun. I would definitely encourage everyone to check them out because they're a bit of a shooting star, and when it goes out, everybody's going to be sad because they're kind of cool to have around.
Yeah.
So I have saved Panthers for later?
Yes.
All right.
Because it's in...
Very excited. I'm very excited.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think.
Yeah, it is.
Now, real quick, talk about graphics real quick. CVS's new graphics.
Oh, gorgeous.
They're
the best.
Great. And let me
CVS
tell
is
you,
the best.
Drew Brees taking over in studio over Rodney Harrison.
Oh, my gosh.
Way better. I love hearing him and Dungy speak together better than Harrison.
You know who I think's got a real, like somebody said to me a while back, he's like, he'll be a pretty good quarterback, but he's going to be like an incredible broadcaster out of the modern quarterbacks. Which one do you think? Quarterback in the NFL, starter right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
No. Baker Mayfield. Because he's already does all those commercials.
Well, he's got more commercials than wins still.
Yeah.
I don't care how many wins he's had.
He'd have to win every game of his career to have as many commercials. He's got so many. He's got as many commercials as Aaron Rodgers does with State Farm.
Yes. Which I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers in a State Farm commercial in a while.
Maybe he wants to leave them too.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Jumped to Jeopardy when he had the chance, but anyway, but
it's true.
Yes,
he was good.
So anyway, yes, the Rams looking good. They got 2 tough games coming up, both divisional. They got Arizona and the Seahawks. So we'll see how
they should win at least one of those. If they don't, I'd be worried. The Seahawks to me is the one that I think they're more likely to lose. Just because I feel like Russ might get on some crazy stuff.
Maybe Russ is not... Maybe letting Russ cook in the kitchen wasn't a good idea there, Pete Carroll, and I was on board for that.
They're 2-1 though, aren't they?
No, 1-2.
They're 1-2. Okay.
But they blew it against the Titans.
They blew it against Titans. I was watching that game live. Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see if they can get Russ cooking in the kitchen again.
I mean, the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's having like a really good season, but I'm not sure. In that division, I feel like the Rams are better than them. I feel like the Seahawks are almost as good as the Cardinals.
It'll be an entertaining game.
Yeah.
Because Kyler Murray, he's undersized for a quarterback.
I think Kyler's amazing.
He'll run around.
I love Kyler Murray.
He'll run around.
I think he's great.
I'm on that Rams front, so it'll be interesting to see how
I think Kyler's great, but I think Stafford and that Rams team's on another level.
Yeah. But Kingsbury has definitely raised the bar for them in Arizona.
Yes, he has. He's made them competitive.
Yes, he has.
I think eventually Kyler Murray might have an MVP year, but I don't know if this is his year yet.
Okay.
It's starting to look like a Stafford year, just based off what we've seen. He's kind of putting up similar numbers to Rodgers and Mahomes last year.
Okay. So it could be. I don't know. But anyway, on to our next headline. After an impressive Week 1 win at the Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers have fallen off the wagon. What do they need to do to get back on course there, Ryan?
I know you follow me on Twitter, so I know you saw my tweet about the Steelers and the Panthers and how one of them has a much better. You didn't see that?
I don't think I did see that one.
Oh goodness! I tweeted something
It's called Twitter is filtering my feed. So
Gotcha.
I can't see that. But anyway, we'll plug this real quick. If you're on Twitter, you should be following
the Sort of Sports Pod. It's at Sort of Sports. It's the Sort of Sports Podcast. Yep.
Sort of Sports Podcast Twitter page.
Follow at Sort of Sports Pod. That's what it is.
Somebody's controlling the keyboards there. We won't tell you who. Go ahead, Ryan.
So I tweeted something along the lines of, the Carolina Panthers are 3-0. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-2. Boy, oh boy, am I excited for the new episode. Something along those lines.
Maybe I did see that one, but I don't recollect it. So
I was pretty proud of it.
Well, what do you got to say? What can the Steelers do to get back on track? This week they got a tough game up in Green Bay.
I think, first off, they got to have less injuries, but you can't control that.
Nope.
But TJ going down is really painful. I just think they don't feel like energized. Like we talked about how the Rams have that
energy
electricity.
after that Bills game.
That's true.
Everybody felt that.
My thing with the Bills game, though, it wasn't like the offense blew me away. It was the defense. Claypool got it together in the second half.
It was a very complimentary game because the offense scored when it needed to.
Yep.
The special team stepped up when it needed to.
Yep.
And the defense did the same as well.
I didn't think anything... Like, the defense was really the part that stood out. So I was a little worried, and Najee Harris finally looked good this week.
He did, but they finally gave him some touches.
Exactly.
28 of them.
Yeah, that's a lot of touches.
14 in the passing.
I'm just not sure, because I think the Bengals are competitive. They're not a playoff team, but the Bengals aren't easy to beat. We've already seen that they've got a little something.
I'm going to say when you turn the ball over twice in your own territory.
That's also true. That's also true.
10 points.
But
it's
a tough division. Lamar finally played a game that made him look like, hey, maybe I can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
when he beat the Chiefs, that was his first ever. Hey, I could win a Super Bowl game.
Detroit in the most Detroit way of losing.
Oh yeah,
right there.
I can't believe they were in a close game.
We'll talk
with
about
Detroit
that later.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And I mean, I don't think it's the Ravens' year, but I'm borderline positive they'll be a playoff team right now. I mean, based off how they're playing. The Browns have still got very high expectations.
They do.
And so it's like, this is not a division where you can kind of slow down for a couple games, have a couple games off.
Right.
So the second best division in the AFC.
You have another game this year, so that's what kind of throws that wrench into it.
Yeah.
So you do have an extra game to fool around.
So I think the Steelers should get back on it, but it really is just a wait and see for me. Because it's like, I don't know really I don't know what's fixable. I think it's just, you got to win more games. I don't really know what to say.
I think the biggest thing is that the offensive line has to play better.
It does look like Ben's getting hit a lot.
I think once the defense is healthy,
yeah,
there's not going to be issues there. But offensively, I think the reason Ben is throwing some of these, he's thrown 3 interceptions last 2 games. I think some of the reasons that is because he's running for his life and he's trying to make plays. And because nobody will block, you're running for your life, so you're just trying to throw it up and see if somebody will go.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah.
I mean, he does. I think the perception is that he's washed up, but if you had a line that was blocking, there wouldn't be that big of an issue. It probably would be better. He probably could have
You know what you're talking about more with the Steelers, and I feel like you're probably right.
Because it's my own team.
Exactly. So I think you're probably right on that.
But we'll see.
Because I don't really know how to fix it.
Maybe at the end of the year, it'll be the end of the Big Ben and Mike Tomlin era in Pittsburgh.
That'd be
something. Headline.
Wow.
So
it's a cover.
It is a cover. But
that's the Pittsburgh Gazette cover, or whatever newspaper they have.
Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. That's
correct.
Post-Gazette.
Woo!
There it is.
There we go.
Ryan knows his
newspapers.
Newspapers.
National newspaper.
Yeah. You know that what Ever Sandusky's is?
No clue. Post?
Nope. Plain dealer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
There you go.
That's pretty fun.
You're working on newspapers, yeah.
A worthy skill of trade.
It is a worthy skill of trade. But I would say Joe Burrow looked healthy with the Bengals this week.
I'm happy about that.
But the sad thing about the Steelers is they snapped their streak with not having at least 1 sack in a regular season game. They had 75 straight games.
Wow.
NFL record.
Wow.
Since Tampa Bay's great defense in the early 2000s. So,
wow.
Yeah, that was disappointing. A lot of streaks. Also, first time losing back-to-back home games since 2003. Pre-Big Ben.
Whoa.
So, that's not good either. But anyway, we're going to move on because enough of my sadness in the Steelers. So, To finish off our headline, should there be concern about how often the Kansas City Chiefs are turning the ball over this season? I mean,
Wow,
at one point, Jim Nantz said yesterday that the Chiefs, including the last play against the Ravens, had turned the ball over 4 times in 13 plays.
Wow. I thought it was... Now, first of all, my special section was almost Justin Herbert. Just the Justin Herbert, I love you, Justin Herbert fest. But I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. I decided to go with something a little more interesting that took me like an hour of research. So this is a big special section.
You're prepared.
I'm hyping this one up. So I didn't do the Justin Herbert thing. I did something else I think is very interesting. But I do want to put in, Herbert looked awesome against the Chiefs.
I would agree with that.
And I think Mahomes is still Mahomes. But I don't think he's got that it factor that he usually has because he never makes a play like that where he costs them the game. He threw the interception that gave them the ball with 1:42 left, and
he threw
Chargers.
A lot of interceptions.
But I'm saying that was the biggest play of the game,
right.
And it was his fault. He doesn't do stuff like that. So this might be a down year for Mahomes, or maybe
the league's catching up.
Maybe the league's catching up to him. That's what was going on in Super Bowl 55. I really hope that's not the case.
It kind of, but it does.
But it makes sense.
It looks like the offensive line has not really gotten better, though.
No.
He's still running
and I'm
around.
like, and their division right now, like we just talked about how fun the Raiders are. I think the Chargers, you and I are both high on at the beginning of the year already.
Yeah, isn't that one? No.
We already had them on the playoffs. Both of us had them in the playoffs.
We have them as one of the big salad.
They are the AFC big salad team of the year.
I
So
we tied them with somebody else in the AFC. Didn't we pick somebody else?
Nope. It was them or the Jags. We went with them.
Okay. It's probably a good choice because the Jags are defeated and Trevor Lawrence does not look good.
And Urban's not happy. So it's really.
Don't worry. He said trust the process.
Yeah.
Well, time for him to have a heart attack. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to kid his medical condition, but it seems like every time he wanted to retire, he had a medical condition.
Yeah, it's bad.
And then the next year, he's right back out there. So
it's very stressful being an Urban Meyer fan.
It must not be heeding to the advice of his doctor, but whatever. Go ahead.
But the Chargers, I've talked before on the podcast about how much I love Herbert, and I think he's just improving. And maybe that's a lot because I see a lot of similarities between him and early on Mahomes. That explosive playability and...
But he doesn't run.
He doesn't run like... But Mahomes never really ran until like his second year as a starter. He didn't really add that in.
As a starter, so we'll see. Well, not full year, but...
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I'm saying Herbert is reminding me that where it's like that explosive playability, and it's the huge throws, and it's the bullet passes that blow up on Twitter and like all this stuff. Mm-hmm. The highlight reels that are awesome. And he kind of reminds me of Mahomes, I think. I really like my quarterbacks and stuff to be like that, even though I kind of like what Darnold's doing, which is the complete opposite of that, which is just short pass. I kind of like Darnold a lot, too. Maybe he'll end up being my favorite quarterback. But right now, Mahomes is getting a fight for the Ryan Klinger throne of favorite quarterbacks. I really like Herbert. But that's a bit of a tangent. And by a bit, I mean like 2 minute long. But...
Back to the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, I do think there's some concern. I do believe they'll probably still be a playoff team, but like we talked, I mean, if the Raiders don't fall off, that's going to be hard to be in the playoffs.
Right.
Because you're going to have to win that division, which means lose maybe 1 or 2 more games, and they do not have an easy schedule because they have to play the Raiders again.
Yes.
They have to play the Raiders twice. They haven't even played them yet, right? Yeah, they haven't even played the Raiders yet. They've played them twice.
And they got to play the AFC North for their...
I'm saying those are the 2 best divisions, the AFC.
Yes, and their NFC, I don't know who they're playing, but I'll have to look it up real quick. But don't forget, they got the Broncos still in their way, too, undefeated. And I know you're not having much stock in
I don't have a lot of stock in the Broncos.
They beat are all defeated.
Yeah,
not won a game.
It's like kind of like the Panthers, but I have more faith in the Panthers because I kind of like what their defense is doing.
They did beat New Orleans, so we'll give them a chance.
New Orleans is pretty legit. I mean, not super legit, but pretty legit. Let's check that Chiefs schedule out. Let's see who all they got to play because, honestly, I'm kind of concerned. But, I mean, if he is a bit down year, Mahomes will probably bounce back. I don't think he's going to fall apart.
Oh, don't worry. They got the NFC East this year.
Okay, so just the Packers. That's it. That's all they have to play is Packers.
No, not the NFC. No.
Oh, the NFC East. I saw these. Sorry, I was thinking about the North. Okay, well, that's the Washington football team. Don't sleep on Taylor Heineke.
Don't sleep on him, yeah.
I like the football team. Once again, they're another fun team, except, I mean, it's going to be a little harder in that division than I thought it'd be because I really like what the Eagles have going on.
Right.
But, honestly, I still think... What do you think of the Washington football team at the moment?
Well, they got doubled up by Buffalo.
Yep.
which I thought they played better there. Let's just say their competition, they're not. I don't know what to say.
They beat the bad teams and they lose to the good teams. It's a weird thing.
Well, let's see. Who'd they beat this year? The Giants.
The Giants, a bad team. They lost to the Chargers and the Bills.
To the Bills.
So I'm saying.
I would agree.
I still think they could be a playoff team because they're in the NFC East.
Because they're NFC East. Yes.
And it's just
the
being 1 and 2 is.
Everybody's 1 and 2.
Everybody's 1 and 2, I think, in that division.
Well,
not the Eagles.
Because I'm sorry, the Eagles and the Cowboys are
That's
playing tonight, so we cannot.
But one of them will be 1 and 2.
One will be 1 and 2. One will be the division leader at 2 and 1. So
probably the
somebody
Eagles
has to win, unless they go 1-1-1.
What do we think of the Eagles?
Haven't really paid attention to them yet, so.
I think they're fun. I don't think they're anything too serious yet. I love to see Washington win that division again because I like what that team is going on.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't need to pay attention to them more, but I will say yes. There's a little bit of concern for the Chiefs. I mean, I predicted them to be the number 2 seed in my playoffs. So you had them as the number 1. I had them going 13-4, so they've lost 2 of those games.
Yep.
Can't lose 2 more, more than 2 more. But,
yeah, that's a good point.
Then you're out of my rankings, but yeah, I think it's very uncharacteristic. It's not just Mahomes with 2 interceptions. You know, Edwards-Helaire has had the fumbles the last 2 games.
Yeah,
and
he's on my fantasy team.
Tyreek Hill was stripped this week. Tyreek Hill was stripped this week fighting for extra yardage.
Yep.
So I think not only is there concern about the takeaways, there's concern about the shakiness of the top because Andy Reid was transported to the hospital yesterday.
And I think that could be a part of it, too.
Illness.
Because remember with the Super Bowl when there was issues with that, and I think that affects that team because Andy Reid means a lot to Mahomes, we know.
Right.
They have a good relationship, and I think
What's
that could
gonna
also be
happen?
affecting
What if Andy
things.
Reid had to retire because of medical issues? Do you think that team could implode?
I think you could see 2 or 3 bad years, and then they come back. Kind of like how Rodgers and the Packers fell off for a couple years, and they came back.
And the McCarthy,
Yeah.
The Charlie McCarthy hearings?
Yep.
But yeah, okay. He was an actor, but anyway. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's plenty of season to go on. They got to play the Chargers again, obviously. So have to play both the Raiders. I'm not going to rule out the Broncos yet.
Okay, we don't have to.
Okay.
We don't have to rule out the Broncos. But I'm also saying maybe this is a bit down year for the Chiefs, and Mahomes bounces back within a couple years, and maybe just, he puts up nice stats, and maybe they make a wild card. He doesn't have to be...
He doesn't have to win the Super Bowl every year.
Even though I kind of wish he would.
The comparison to Tom Brady is...
Any comparison to Tom Brady is crippling, and I am one of the people that did that. So...
Yep.
I mean, if he lives up to it, great. But at the moment, it doesn't look like he can.
I can only blame yourself.
I can only blame myself because I did that. And I still think he's the most talented quarterback, but...
Even after
he's
what
got to
Rodgers
step up.
did last night, did you watch the highlights?
I watched that game. That was crazy.
It was good. I can't believe I stayed up for that. I thought, okay, 27-21. Well, at first it was 24.
They had a minute 20.
Let me correct this. It was 24-14. So I thought, okay, I'm watching a different show, whatever. Turn it back. Now it's 21. It's 24-21, excuse me. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to watch this. Packers, and I flip back, and I come back, and then now it's 27-21. So I thought, all right, I'll stay on here for the end of the game.
Yeah.
And Jimmy G drives him down.
Yep.
They take the lead, 28-27. Too much time for Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
There it is. No timeouts, and he gets it down in 2 plays, 37 seconds, in the field goal range from Mason Crosby. So that was a very good game. And
Rodgers has been awesome. Last year, he was awesome. This year, he's been great.
Well, except for the first game this year.
Yeah, except for the first game.
He was awful.
Yeah, he was bad.
But, yeah, other than that, I mean, the NFC West, everybody would have been, except for the Seahawks, but...
Everybody went 3-0?
Yeah, no. Three of them would have been undefeated.
Yeah, 3 of them would have been 3-0, and then
1 and 2.
Seahawks
which are still good. It's still an above-average team.
Still a
it's
good
just
division.
not winning yet.
Yeah,
So.
I think... I'm not sure to think about Mahomes. I think this will be the year that shows if he's really going to be one of, a top... if he's really going to ever get close to that Brady thing, and if he doesn't... if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's going to be real...
I don't know. A big headline.
I think he could be a top 10 all time, maybe top 5, but I'm not sure if he's going to ever be greatest of all time if he can't make the playoffs this year. That makes sense?
Right.
This is very telling.
But I guess here's the thing about football, too. We have to know about the football at different eras.
Yeah, that's... No,
You got to think about this. Terry Bradshaw, who was undefeated in Super Bowls, played in a completely different era on offense
Yes.
than what even Joe Montana
I'm just saying,
played in
people
the
are going
80s.
to consider.
Compared
Where are
to-
people going to consider Mahomes in 15 years? I think
Well, we'll
this is
see.
a
He
big
might
year.
still be
This is a big
playing.
year for that
He might still be
because he
playing.
could bounce back and do well. But I think this is showing all the signs of being a bad Chiefs year because Herbert and the
Well,
Chargers look sweet. The Raiders are fun.
I'm not going to overreact yet.
I'm not okay. I am, and I'm saying
Well,
it's starting to show the signs of a down
Quit
year.
overreacting.
I won't overreact.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Did we say who was their next game against?
We said their next game.
We just knew that they play in the NFC East as the interleague.
I think maybe it's Washington. It might be Washington. I think we figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, they could definitely still make playoffs, and maybe we come back to this and we're like, crap, they won the Super Bowl. What were we thinking? But we'll see. I'm just saying
They got to play the Eagles,
That'll be.
and then they
not-
got to host the Bills on Sunday Night Football. Okay, they
Can
got
we just
three-
say though about the Bills? You and I, neither of us were crazy high on the Bills, and we were kind of right because at the
What
moment
do you mean? I have them as my number one seed in the AFC. How can you say I'm not crazy high?
you didn't have them win in the Super Bowl. You didn't have them in the Super Bowl.
I did have them in the Super
No,
Bowl.
you're the Titans. You put the Titans over them.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You put the Titans over
No,
them.
I put the Titans into the AFC Championship.
Okay.
against
I thought
them.
I tried to convince you to put the Titans in.
Yes, you tried to, and I said no, no, no.
Okay, well, I was not super high on the
Right.
Bills, and they're not bad at all. They're a good team, but they're not as crazy as everybody tried to say they were going to be.
No, I mean, look at that. Pittsburgh beat them, so
Yeah.
that's going to mean something. But anyway, they got three tough games back to back to back. After the Eagles, they got to play at home against the Bills Sunday night. They're at the football team, and then they're at the Titans.
If they win all those, okay, they're still the Chiefs. If they lose half those, that's going to be
Okay, well, there's
tough.
only three of them, so
Well, I'm saying if they lose two of those,
yeah.
that's going to
a
be
majority.
that's going to be
Yeah.
tough. That's going to be tough.
Well, yeah.
So, I don't know what to say because I'm not sure how to feel
Okay.
about it.
If you don't want to say anymore, we'll move on.
Well, I don't know. I'm really thinking. I'm like, I think it could be a down year for them, but in the same sense, I could also see it's like the Chiefs have won 9 straight games. Mahomes has been
Exactly.
yeah.
That's why I'm not putting the stock in yet.
All right. Well, then I'll put no stock.
I'm putting no
Take
stock.
all my chips back.
Okay.
Everything was speculation.
Yep, just put your ante in, and that's it.
Yep. There we
That's all
go.
you can
I'm
do.
just speculating. It could be a down year,
Right.
but I think this is an important year for Mahomes
I see what you're saying. For the legacy.
for the legacy. It's always about the legacy.
Okay. I know. All right. Enough of the headlines here. It's time to play What's the Word? Just one of those today.
Oh yeah.
All right. And Ryan, it is blank that the St. Louis Cardinals will win the second wild card slot in the National League.
Wild. It is wild that they'll win the wild card spot. Who would have thought? I mean, I thought the Cardinals were a good team. I had them winning the NL Central, I want to say, when I did my original ranking. Because I'm going to put up a new episode of the podcast as soon as everything's official with the MLB playoffs. Wrap up what I originally predicted.
predictions
Yeah.
there.
Do the predictions for the playoffs. I'm going to get all that done.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll do my MLB playoff predictions. I'm going to look back at what I originally predicted. And I'm going to be very disappointed in the Padres. Not myself. I'm not disappointed in myself. I think it did quite well this year because the White Sox were awesome like I predicted. But the Padres, of course, were the biggest disappointment of the year. And we all know that, and that sucks.
Yep.
But the Cardinals, I mean,
Remember
they
when
took
you
advantage.
said my Red Legs wouldn't be better than your Padres? And
Never
who
would have
was
thought.
right?
Nah, I was wrong.
Who was right? This guy. This
Well,
guy
I-
right here.
When you have the Padres and your Cubs as the two favorite teams, you'd think one of them would be good. And
Okay, Padres weren't awful.
The Padres
Okay,
missed the
they're
playoffs, and they
500.
should have been a World Series
They're
contender.
500.
They should have been the World Series contender.
Well, they were at one point. And then
They were.
fizzled right out, just like my Red Legs. So,
The Cardinals, I think it's wild that they're in this position. But honestly, you know what team I've been thinking for the last couple months looks like the World Series team out of the NL? It's the freaking Brewers. I love what the Brewers have going on.
well, this
I
is
think
a
the Brewers are
possibility.
awesome.
You don't think
I think the Brewers
you don't
are
think
awesome.
neither the Giants nor the Dodgers would be in the World Series?
I think we're moving towards a White Sox-Giants World Series.
I think that's what you predicted, didn't you?
Not
No.
Giants. It was White Sox.
Padres.
No, it was White Sox Brewer. No, Braves. It was White Sox Braves.
Okay.
And I think that had the White Sox winning. And
Well,
I'm saying I think White Sox Giants, White Sox Dodgers, White Sox. I think it's just gonna be the White Sox and then pick one of the division winners. That's not in the
Well,
NL East.
here's the thing. How about Houston quietly, the trash
Oh,
Stros,
they've been awesome. They've been awesome too. They've been real
quietly
good.
snuck right into the playoffs again.
They've been great this year, and I hate the fact that it's true, but they've been great. Yep. So they could be a team that just all of a sudden gets hot in the playoffs and goes to the World Series, but I'm still really high on the White Sox, and if it's a White Sox-Giants World Series, I'm rooting White Sox. If it's Brewers-White Sox, I just watch and enjoy because I really like what both those teams have going on. I really like the Brewers got going on. I mean, Willie Adames has been awesome for them.
He has.
He's been absolutely incredible.
Been a thorn in the Reds' side, but
they've been great.
I mean, my word's got to be unthinkable.
Yes,
I mean, think about this. 3 weeks ago, the Cardinals were at 500.
Yep.
When they played the Reds, they beat the Reds in the series 2-1.
Yep.
That was the last game they lost. Was the end of that? Was that series finale?
Yep.
All right. They've rattled off 16 straight.
Yep.
Against tough teams, the Brewers, others, the Padres. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And right now, my Red legs are hanging on by a thread because if the Cardinals lose, not going to happen. But if the Cardinals lose every game for the rest of their season and the Reds win every one of theirs, guess who just walked right into the playoffs, baby?
Just to lose to the
Red
Dodgers.
legs. Nope.
Nah,
because they played well against the Dodgers and not the Giants nor the Padres. So it's good to be playing the Dodgers instead.
That's true.
I would rather play them.
I would really love for whoever makes the wild card to take the Dodgers out of World Series contention. That would make me very happy.
It's possible. How about this? Real quick. Expanded MLB playoffs. 3 wild cards on each side. Change it now. Wild card weekend is a 3-game series. 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. Winners play 1-2.
I like that. I like that a lot because I think it doesn't need to be expanded.
And then back to the DS.
I don't think it needs to be expanded. I think it's more fun to be expanded, yeah.
Yeah. Then back to the DS can be back to 5-game series, and then the championship series is still 7.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Oh, I'm calling up Rob Manfred tomorrow.
You should do it.
Okay.
I think he'd really enjoy that.
Remember you called, who you were calling last year? Were you calling Patrick Mahomes to figure out what was going on?
Yeah, I called somebody. It was a joke. I forget what that joke was. Well, at some point, we'll have some point this year where I'll do the bit again.
We should do a clip show. We should do a clip show like Seinfeld at the end of the season, just to go through like all our little bits and pieces.
Oh, our highlights?
Our highlights, our biggest rants.
Oh boy.
We'll have to go through them.
I'll have to do that at the end of the season too then.
Yeah. Sure.
That'd be a good idea because season 2 ends with the what did we decide the end point was?
It ends with the NFL draft.
We do the recap episode, and then we're done.
So be prepared, folks. We are going all the way through. This is how the new season, the schedule will be.
Yes.
We're going to do a week before the NFL season, do the NFL predictions.
Yep.
And then we go all the way through the NFL draft. And that sums up as we get into a month in the MLB, wrapping up NBA, doing that, and then turn over to Ryan solo in the summer because his biggest thing is NBA.
Yep.
So he can talk about the finals and all that, and then we'll get back rolling again with football.
Now, I do want to say back to the baseball thing. Mm-hmm. This is every single person, it felt like, every article was like, oh, well, playoffs pretty much set, and it's already mid-July. Including me, like we all thought that.
I did.
And this has been.
I didn't because I was still hoping for my Red legs, who blew it, who were at one point 11, 12, or 12 games above 500, and blew it against the Pirates, the Nationals, and the Marlins. 3 of the worst teams.
Hey, the Marlins have amazing pitching.
Well, Sandy Alcantara, but yes,
they're great pitching. I mean, didn't you see my tweet about the ERA?
Best
ERA out of a non-playoff team.
Well, Don Mattingly's got to get the bats started.
They got to get some bats in there.
He's a good manager.
I should call Don, tell him to go get some bats.
That's right.
There we go.
There we go.
So
he split his pants on Seinfeld.
Really?
Well, he didn't do it literally, but he said it on TV.
Huh?
Game within a show,
Oh yeah. All right. Well,
we'll plug that clip in right here. All right, there you go, Ryan.
So. This September has been like one of the most eventful months. Like usually September's just all right. Well, okay,
we got people from the minors.
We got to finish things. 40-man roster.
Yep.
And then this time it's been like, whoa, every game matters. This has been really fun. It's like I said, this MLB season's one of the best in recent memory. You got the Shohei thing going on. Vlad's been great. The Giants have been super fun. The Rays have been fun again.
Yep.
There's been a lot of the biggest MLB trade deadline ever. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of great stuff. And a lot of stuff that maybe wasn't as good, like Javier Baez and the whole Mets situation.
Right.
But that still put a lot of eyes on the product. So,
Yeah.
talk.
I mean,
Talk is talk.
What's sad is that Mike Trout and possibly Shohei Ohtani might be on a team that'll never make the playoffs consistently out there.
Yeah, I know.
And the Anaheim Angels, but
It's
Joe
they
Madden will
two.
come
They
around.
might go down as two of the
Joe
best
Madden.
ever,
I
and they
mean-
might. I like Joe Madden.
Joe Madden, we're gonna give him a chance.
Yep.
He won the Cubs that World Series.
Yep.
In the
I like
draft.
Joe Madden. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's
We just got there. I can't.
no.
blame
I
him
think
yet.
it's the general manager that's getting. They need to get bigger name. They need to figure out who they're getting for players. They need to get pitching, and like bad. They need pitching bad.
I know.
I mean, the only pitcher they got is Shohei.
I know.
I would
Oh,
love.
boy,
I would love for the Angels to be a good baseball team.
Excuse me. Sub with third graders today. I'm yawning already. I mean, they had good pitching at one point.
Yeah.
They had chances. So I
Yeah.
don't know what to say anymore. Enough of them.
They should get Nolan Ryan to come out of retirement. He could do better than half their pitchers.
Yeah. Well, because
He's the best ever.
Because he pitched all 9 innings every day, though.
Exactly.
So I would agree he's the best ever. So at least in the modern era.
Yeah.
The live ball era.
The old one, it's got to be old Haas Radborn, the most wins in MLB history.
No Cy Young.
Nope, Haas Radborn,
Okay.
52 wins. It's incredible.
In one season.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Okay. Anyway, it's time for toss-up. I'll throw it to Ryan here. We're going to have to make a scratch in this question because who will win the second wild card slot in the American League? The Boston Red Sox or the Toronto Blue Jays, since the Red Sox lost to the Yankees last night on Sunday Night Baseball.
Making the Yankees the official 1 seed.
For now. Well, not official. But
It's not official,
for
but
now.
yeah, for now.
But they are a game ahead of them, and then the Red Sox are a game ahead of the Blue Jays.
I just feel like fate is going to align so we get a wonderful Red Sox-Yankees wild card game, and hopefully my boys in Boston can get it done. Because I hate the Yankees, but I do think it's always fun to get a Red Sox Yankees.
Right.
And I
And
just
you know
feel
they're
like
gonna pitch Chris Sale
Oh
here in the
yeah.
wild
Oh yeah,
card.
and you know Xander Bogaerts going to have a good game because he's
Right.
that type of guy. And I really like the Red Sox been fun all year. They had an incredibly good start, and I
They
think
came crashing down, but had the hot September. So.
exactly. So I feel like the time's right for them. I think they're
Right.
peaking right at the good time. So
Right.
I think it's Red Sox.
I agree, and I think I'm looking forward to the Red Sox next year because Chris Sale will be back for a whole season.
Yep.
I mean, he might be limited in some, but still, even him giving half a start.
And they're a
for the whole
young
season.
team.
Yes, young team, and I think even though Alex
Rafael
Cora
Devers been awesome,
Mm-hmm.
third baseman.
and at least with Alex Cora back,
Mm-hmm.
they gave him some stability for at the manager's spot.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he's a cheater, for maybe participating in the cheating, it's a possibility. I don't know if it was ever confirmed.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think they're gonna be interesting for next year. But right now, I think the problem is that the Yankees and the Blue Jays have to play each other,
Yes.
and that's the
The
real,
Red Sox have to pretty much root for the
That's
Yankees.
the real. No, well.
That
No,
would do them better.
they don't really have to root for anybody because
Whoever
here's
wins,
the
that's going to
thing.
probably take the other spot. Is what you're
Here's
saying?
the thing. Exactly. They can just float up against it. So even if they can speed up each other, it won't even matter. Because the Yankees have to play the Blue Jays and the Rays.
The Rays will beat them.
And the Red Sox, they're going to have to play, as the internet loads.
I'm assuming the Red Sox are going to have to
Just
play
kick me
somebody
off the
that's
internet.
also not too.
They have to play the Orioles.
Yeah, they'll probably be able to beat the Orioles.
And they're not playing. They might have to play the Blue Jays here.
The Blue Jays in October. That would be an incredibly funny way.
Nope,
to
they got
end
the Nationals. So the Red Sox got 6 shitty-ass teams.
it. Yeah, pretty much.
Two shitty-ass teams, 6 shitty-ass games to play.
Except, I will say, on the Nationals,
They got Juan Soto.
they got Juan Soto, who's an absolute
I know.
superstar. I love Juan Soto. He's crazy good.
So they have 6 awful games. The Yankees have tough ones. I didn't look at the Blue Jays always have to play the Yankees for 3, but I don't know who they play for the end, but I'm pretty sure it's a weaker opponent. So that's what I'm saying. Really, if the Red Sox can just win these 6 games, they're in.
Yeah.
Don't blow it.
Come on, Red Sox.
All right? Don't blow it against the Orioles because they're awful. About as bad as that team that started off 0-21.
Mm-hmm. That one guy's great, though. Can't remember his name all of a sudden.
I don't even know who that one guy is. I
He's
don't follow
been
Orioles.
awesome. He's been awesome.
Okay.
His stats.
He's
are
awesome.
absurd.
Don't know who you are, but you've been awesome, guy.
Yep.
Way to go.
It's the best guy on the Orioles. It just slipped my mind. I can't remember his name all of a sudden.
Well.
Crap. I feel dumb. That's all right. I'll get it next week and I'll say it.
Okay. Next! Who is the most impressive undefeated team in the NFL? The Los Angeles Rams or the Carolina Panthers?
I'm so happy you put this question on here because it's obviously the Rams. But you gave me time.
I had to dangle a donut right in front of your mouth.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So the Panthers, you want to talk about the Panthers? I've been dying to talk about the Panthers. You see,
should have avoided all along, folks.
The most sacks out of any NFL team right now. The defense has been killer. Brian Burns.
J.C. Horn is out now with a broken foot.
Man, I'm crying about that. I made a very upset tweet. He'll be back next year. He'll be great next year.
Next year?
It's broken foot.
Okay, but a broken foot can heal in 6 to 8 weeks. You telling me he won't be back at all?
Maybe he'll be back for the playoffs.
Maybe.
We're making the playoffs, baby.
I don't know about
that. Oh, yeah, we're making that playoff. No. I'm telling you.
The Bucs twice. If the Saints don't,
We're beating the Saints next time, too. We're beating the Saints next time, too. Okay. Here's the thing. We play the Cowboys Sunday. We're going to beat the Cowboys. Everybody's going to be like, holy crap.
Maybe.
This team's legit. Sam Darnold just won another game, and DJ Moore's still recovering from his injury, and Christian McCaffrey's out. And they don't have J.C. Horn, who was the best rookie corner, by the way, by all statistics. He was awesome.
Oh, he should be. He's the number one.
He was the number one taken corner, but he was so good. So he's going to be incredible. I mean, just give him more time. He'll be a Pro Bowler in life. That's what he's showing right now.
Right. Maybe.
Brian Burns has been a stud. We knew he was a stud, but now everybody's starting to be like, oh, we're Brian Burns. Okay. Robbie Anderson hasn't been getting as many touches as last year. Not as many targets, I've noticed. But Tommy Tremble, the new tight end, the rookie tight end from Notre Dame, the third-round pick, he had a touchdown against the Texans. He stepped it up. I would like to see more Tommy Tremble runs. I really like him. Chuba Hubbard, the backup running back, he looked good against the Texans. I think people are going to start watching us and go, maybe we should just – Matt Rule's going to be sitting there, him and Joe Brady, they're going to be like, maybe we should just run a 2 halfback set. And, kind of like Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb style, because Christian McCaffrey gets hurt all the time.
Yeah.
But he's awesome when he's healthy.
Yes.
So we'll run McCaffrey, but then every once in a while we'll put in Chuba, because he's great.
Yeah.
So then we got to talk about Darnold. Darnold's passer rating his first 3 games with every year in the Jets was 55, 54, and 56, I want to say. It was somewhere around the mid-50s. Okay. It's an 84 right now. Mm-hmm. He is blazing.
30-point increase, yep.
He has been awesome for us. Mm-hmm. And he's gotten better every game he's played. Mm-hmm. So you can make an argument, they're going to get more tape on him. He's going to slow down. And I think that's always happens in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks always have some down years. Like we were talking about earlier from Mahomes. He might just be having a down year because, he's got to add to his game. And next year he'll come back and do well. I mean, people get more tape on guys. They slow down, then they have a big year the next year. It's the way it works. Mm-hmm. But this looks like a big year for Darnold. Starting to look like NFL comeback player of the year, him or Burrow. It's pretty much a 2-horse race at the moment.
Well, yes.
And
just like last year when it was Roethlisberger Smith.
Yep. And I'm saying, Darnold, I think the wild card pick I make isn't too bonkers anymore. Mm-mm. Because, like I said, our schedule isn't that tough. Correct. And I think we're playing like a good team. I love what the Panthers have been everything I wanted and more. I don't feel like a crazy man shouting from my house, they're gonna be good, dang it. No, they're legit competitive. Mm-hmm. And Darnold's actually been better than I thought he would be. I really love what Darnold's doing. I said on the podcast when we traded for him, if he played well, I'd probably buy a jersey of him for Christmas. At this rate, we're moving towards a Darnold jersey. Just saying. He's been a stud.
All right.
What do you think of the Panthers?
Don't lose the last 14 games in a row.
Oh, I better not.
I'll answer the question first, and it's obviously the Los Angeles Rams just because of the tougher competition for now. And if the Carolina Panthers can keep it rolling, then they can become the more impressive team than the Rams. But for now, it is the Rams. The offense is clicking. The defense is snacking, and that's all it needs to be.
We talked a lot about the Rams earlier, and I mean, I think they're the best team in the NFL at the moment. And I don't think it's an overreaction to say they're going to continue to be one of, if not the best.
Top in the league. Yes.
I think they're looking, out of everybody in the NFL, they look the most like a Super Bowl contender, if not the front runner. So, I mean, they are the front runner. And for now.
The most comprehensive team.
Yeah. I mean, both sides of the ball, they're top 5. Maybe top 3.
Top 5.
Top 5, yeah.
You got to give them some margin.
Yeah, top 5, yeah. Margin for error. But being top 5 both sides of the ball, I mean, Washington was probably 20th last year offensively, but top 3 defensively, and they were, they almost beat the Bucs. So, you know.
It can happen. It depends on the personnel.
Defense seems to win games anymore in modern NFL.
I don't know why, because all the rules are slanted to the offense.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a good like pass rush, You seem to win games. That's how the Super Bowls won last year.
Yeah. Well, that line was crumbling too.
But I'm saying it was because of the pass rush too.
Yeah, I agree.
Pass rushing is becoming consistently more important because you can't make as many plays once the ball's in the air, so you got to hit it while it's in the quarterback's hands.
Right. I agree. I think that's a reasonable point. I have no opinion on the Panthers yet, really.
Okay.
Because
That's
here's
fine.
the thing.
That's fine.
The first week of the NFL season, and I didn't even get to watch the Steelers-Bills game live. I had a euchre tournament I was hosting, so I was doing that.
Okay.
So I had no time to really watch the Panthers then. And then the second week, I was at the Steelers game, so wasn't watching any games in the car on the way home or during the game or flipping back to the channel.
Yeah.
And then last week, the Panthers played. They played at 1 o'clock?
No, they played the Thursday night game, Texas.
That's exactly right. So I did watch that. Some. So.
And you thought DJ Moore looks like
I thought
really good receiver and he's been underrated?
I thought the offense was running around
DJ
on
Moore's
a
awesome.
Weakened Texan defense, so that helps you out.
Well, I think DJ Moore is awesome.
So
Genuinely.
I
Moore's
gotta see more. I gotta see more tape.
I completely understand that. But I am going to overreact because it's my own team.
Okay.
Whereas everything else, try not to overreact. I'm starting to think more about the Chiefs thing. I think you're right. We got to see more out of the Chiefs before I make a statement.
Yep. Quit
Yep,
overreacting,
so
NFL. NFL superlatives.
the only team I've overreacted on.
Overreact and overreaction is what the NFL superlatives are. So go ahead.
The only team I really think I've overreacted on was the Chiefs. I said the Raiders are fun. I never said the Raiders are going to be amazing. The Raiders are fun. We'll see how fun they can stay. Chiefs, I'm interested to see, but I'm thinking it's trending downward. Those are my official takes. Chargers, I think, are right about where they need to be. Why are you making noises?
Okay. Well, let's just.
I had to clear up what I was thinking.
You're clarifying. Okay. Since you're done clarifying. Last one. Who scored the most impressive win this week in the NFL? The Los Angeles Chargers or the Arizona Cardinals?
Chargers to me. I think the Cardinals been playing really well. I really like Kyler Murray's going on. But the Chargers saying, hey, Mahomes, we're here now. We're competitive. You got to actually, your division's actually good now. Watch out. And we're not the Raiders where we might just be a flash in the pan. We're pretty legit. That's the statement they needed to make. And Mahomes, remember that with the golf tournament? And he was like, I'll see you when I believe. That was blown up where it was like, they said, watch out for Herbert. And he said, I'll see you when I believe it. Well, he's seen it now. And he better believe it because Herbert was awesome. Herbert played, balled out. And the Chargers, they still got Keenan Allen.
Mike Williams.
Austin Eckler. And he's a good receiving back.
Yep.
That's a good team. You and I were both. That's the big salad team. The Chargers. I can't not go with the team of the big salad.
I know.
If we had a Washington football team thing on here, I'm not as high on them at the moment. I'd like to see more out of a little more out of the defense. Come on, get back. A little more out of Heineke. Heineke's good. Come on, J.D. McKissick.
Decent.
Get him more reps. He's good. Terry McLaurin's been great though.
Yes.
But we all knew that.
He's been giving him the ball.
He's been great.
He's beaten him.
Every quarterback's got their number one receiver. It seems like him and Heineke click, and I like McLaurin a lot.
I agree.
But back to the Chargers. The Cardinals playing well, but I'm not sure how. I'm not super high on them yet. I have to see more.
Even if they dismantled the Titans.
They dismantled
them.
But I'm not blown away by the Titans. I think it's starting to look like Derrick Henry has to completely carry that team, especially if A.J. Brown getting hurt.
Okay, but they have Julio Jones. I don't care if A.J. Brown...
No, I'm saying on paper they should be a lot better than they've been playing. I'm not super high on what the Titans got going on. That AFC South is a crap show.
I know. Prince Harry's defeated.
Hey, I got off that. I got off that train.
I've been off it. You were the one that wanted to be on it.
Yeah, I was the conductor, and I drove it off the tracks. No one was on the train, so no one was hurt.
Yeah, you jumped ship all right.
I was like, oh, wait, I got to get off this. And no one was on the train, so it didn't matter that no one was driving it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I realized my mistake, and I hopped on the Charger train, and it was a much better choice.
Well, because they are called the Bolts, so they'll take a bullet train, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, the defense, Joey Bosa, he's been good.
True. I would agree. And, yes, and they have a good secondary as well.
I think the Cards are a good team, but I think the Chargers, they made more of a statement.
Right.
Everyone right now, including me, is kind of ignoring the Cardinals because they want to see more. Because we've seen them have hot starts before. So.
Not under the Kingsbury era, though.
No, I'm saying they started decently last year. I think they were.
Yeah, but that's decent. This is undefeated.
That's true. That's true. That's very true.
So I am. I'm going to disagree. I mean, I know they beat the Chiefs, but I'm going to give it to the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
I don't know why I want to say even though they just beat the Jags this week, but they were down to the Jags at half after they returned a 109-yard missed field goal.
Yeah, that was awesome.
At the end of the half, but they have consistently played good defense, even though they had a thriller against the Vikings last week. So it is. It's been interesting for the Cardinals, but I like what their offense is showing. It just seemed more impressive to come after that young team and kind of go for the jugular in the second half.
I'm a little upset because I predicted that Kyler Murray MVP year last year, where I was like super high on Kyler Murray, and
should have been super high on him this year.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, crap.
This was on you, Survivor. Thank you. Not the show, the band. Go away. Go ahead.
And I do think still, right now, the MVP guy looks to be Stafford. But granted, we're only 3 weeks in. I mean, last year, everybody was like, it's Russell Wilson. And then halfway through the season, everybody went, never mind.
Yeah, because they stopped from letting him cook in the kitchen.
Exactly. So they took away his chef hat, and everybody hopped off the train.
That's right. No more spatulas.
Everybody was off the train.
It's ridiculous, but yes, I'm looking forward to seeing more from the Cardinals. Like we said earlier, Rams-Cardinals this week. It's going to be a good game.
See it. Is that,
right.
What time is that? Is that a Sunday, 1 o'clock?
No, I'm pretty sure it is the 4:25 game on Fox.
Well, I think the NFL must have known the Rams have been pretty awesome, pretty sweet, one of the best teams, because they seem to have a lot of nationally televised. The 4:25 slots, the 8 o'clock slots. For good reason. They've been sweet.
Yeah.
And they're the LA team of choice.
It is also the NFL making more money.
Yeah, because they're
ratings.
They're the main LA team. The Chargers are the secondary, which makes me sad.
I would disagree. I would say they're
No, they don't sell as much as the Rams, I'm pretty sure.
I know, but play-wise, they're equal, somewhat.
What? Of what? What do you mean? Like how good they are?
Equal caliber, because they're both good.
Oh yeah, I'm saying from like the Rams are like the Lakers to their Clippers.
Yes, I would agree. But are they going to split off and build their own stadium, like the Clippers are doing?
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool though.
But
I don't know if the Chargers have enough money.
No, somebody will give them a few million.
I think the city builds that, so it'd have to be the mayor of LA saying, "Hey." Is that
how
that works?
No. Because permits. They didn't get permits because Steve Ballmer is the one that's building the Clippers' new stadium.
Yeah.
He spent the $1.4 billion on that. But sometimes for community development, yes, they need to have it pass a levy for that. So it's possible. But all right, Ryan.
Woo!
This is your very highly researched
Took me an hour before the pod.
This is a thesis. This is going to be published at Baldwin Wallace University coming up next in the next 5 years.
This is my magnum opus of the special section.
Right,
Every
Ryan's
single one
special
before
section.
this was building to this.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, Quinn, we talk a lot about television and like CBS, NBC, da-da-da. But I don't know why I said da-da-da. I could have just said Fox, but they're the weakest, so who cares? Their scoreboard's kind of gross.
And they got Joe Bach.
They don't show enough stats. It's bad.
I don't care about that, but okay.
Troy Aikman took too many hits to the head.
It's just because the slew of great play-by-play announcers on CBS. You got Jim Nance.
Yeah.
You got Ian Eagle.
Yep.
You got Kevin Harlan, who's my fave.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the best. He's the best.
But anyway.
And of course, the best broadcaster, Tony Romo.
Okay, well he's the color commentator.
Yeah, I know, but he's the best. He's the best. I know he's the best.
Okay, well that's the best color
commentator. The Romo Report's the best.
Okay.
Best pregame.
There you go.
All right, here we go.
Go, special section.
So, I decided to look into what do you think is the best night, before I do anything, what do you think is the best night to watch football? You only get to watch one night of football a week. Sunday night game, Monday night game, or Thursday night game?
The best?
Yeah.
As in ratings, or just for me to do?
No, just like what game do you want to watch? What do you think is gonna be the best game? Consistently, you don't even know the schedule.
Does it have to be night, or can it be?
It's the Sunday night game.
Okay.
It's the primetime ones. The Sunday night game, the Monday night game, or the Thursday night game.
Sometimes it's relaxing on a Monday night just to come home from work.
The Monday night game. All right. So I looked into each. You see this paper I've got filled out?
I see this paper.
The Sunday night games, the Monday night games, and the Thursday night games, which also includes the 2 games they're playing on Christmas.
Okay.
Saturday.
Wait till that Monday night wild card game comes up in the playoffs. Somebody
I didn't do the
screwed on that one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But I did it so for each one we figured out how many division winners from last year are playing.
Okay.
How many are NFC versus NFC? How many are AFC versus AFC? And how many are interconference?
Okay.
Then I figured out which teams play the most for each night. Then at the end, we figured out which teams played the most out of each division. And on top of that, which were the teams that played the most out of the primetime slots.
Okay.
So we're going to see which team the NFL thinks is the most marketable and the most exciting for them to market.
Yes, and it's not just a team; it's also a franchise.
Yes.
They know there are certain franchises that bring in
Exactly.
ratings.
Like the Bears have always had nationally televised game, even though they weren't really that exciting until now.
Exactly.
So, well, they weren't even that actually exciting.
They haven't been excited since Jim
They
McMahon.
have one.
Jim
They have
McMahon.
one cool player in its field.
Since Jim McMahon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start out with Sunday. There are 17 division winners that play in this. So that would be essentially every game. You're gonna at least one of those teams will be division winner from last year.
Okay. For now, before they flex
now.
things, they
Yes.
might flex things after week 6.
Yes.
So go ahead.
So that's the way it's working right now. Is that you have basically based off, granted, some weeks 2 division winners from last year play. So this doesn't include wildcard teams, just the division winners.
Okay.
So, NFC versus NFC on Sunday Night Football on NBC, there are 7. That is the most. AFC versus AFC is 5, and Inter is 5. The team that has played the most on Sunday are the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Niners, all with 3. That is the most of any teams on any night. That's a prime time. Everybody else, the most for Monday is a 2, and the most for Thursday is a 2. So, Sunday actually has the most teams off the list.
Which the only reason you can be at a 2 is if you're on the Saturday games, because you can't play 2 on the Thursday night.
No. I'm saying 2 is in like you play twice on Thursdays during the season. That's what I'm saying.
You can't play twice on Thursday.
No, Quinn. I'm saying 2 times during the year you're gonna play a Thursday night game.
I know, but you're not supposed to. Only each team's supposed to play once on Thursday night because, which just might have changed this year because we have
Based off current schedule, some of them play
because we
twice.
have an extra Thursday night game.
Some of them play twice.
I know, but in the past, it never used to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
But 2 of them, a couple of them though, are because of those Christmas games that I included on the Thursday night schedule.
Okay, yes.
So that's part of that. But the Bucks play 2 Thursday night games straight up. One at the end of the year, and one, of course, the first week of the NFL season. Versus Cowboys. That was a Thursday night game.
Really?
Yes.
They're gonna play back to back.
Yeah,
That's
they're at
crazy.
the end of the year. Yeah, I'm telling you, some of these guys play. Okay, so let's go back to Sunday night. Sunday night is the most heavily stacked. They have 3 teams that play 3 games that are Sunday night: the Niners, the Packers,
They're
the
not
Chiefs.
playing any other Thursday night games, you chump.
No, it's on the Thursday night schedule. Look it up.
Hey, it's right here. Yep, I found it. It's in October. You said
There it
end of the
was.
season. You said end.
Okay, that's mid.
fooling me.
Sorry.
You're trying to fool me.
I was like,
You're
I did
stupid
not
on
look
air.
at this wrong. Come on.
I know.
All right, so here we go.
I just had to check it out and just say, man, what's the NFL doing trying to screw these teams up? But anyway, go ahead.
Sunday night, they 3 biggest teams: Packers, Chiefs, Niners. They play 3 games. And then the teams that don't have any Sunday night games are the most out of any, which are the Jets, never play Sunday. Neither do the Panthers, Texans, Falcons, Bengals, Jaguars, Broncos, Giants, Eagles, Dolphins, Cardinals, Lions. That is the most out of any night. So they stack Sundays the most. New Orleans plays twice on Sunday. Chicago plays twice. Minnesota plays twice. Baltimore plays twice. Pittsburgh plays twice. Buffalo plays twice. The Bucks play twice. The Rams play twice. Seattle and the Cowboys all play twice. The Cowboys actually play twice on every night except Monday. So Thursday and Sunday they have 2 games, and then they play 1 Monday night game. So the Cowboys, they seem to market pretty well. So then Mondays, there's 2 games during the year. Vegas plays on Mondays. 2 Baltimore, 2 Pittsburgh, 2 Chicago, 2 Buffalo, 2 Rams, 2 Seattle, and 2 New Orleans. The teams that don't have any Monday night games are the Jets, Panthers, Texans, Falcons, Bengals, Jaguars, Broncos. Fun fact, all of those teams don't have any Sunday night games either.
Yes, and usually every team has a Monday night game where they kind of taper it away.
So
from
Thursday is pretty much the dump night, where it's, you don't have any
but
prime
Thursday
time.
everybody has to play.
Yep.
Yes.
So
everybody
then
has to play
for
Thursday
Monday,
night.
there's 11 division winners.
Okay.
NFC versus NFC is still the leader with 8. AFC versus AFC is 6, and Inter is 3.
Okay.
So Monday seems to be a lot more weak. Sunday is the biggest night based off this. There's 17 division winners playing. NFC versus NFC is the biggest with 7, and then AFC and Inter are both 5. Whereas Monday, it's a little more swayed to the AFC and the NFC. There's hardly any Inter, and there's 6 less division winners playing. Thursday's obviously the worst night, even when you include the Christmas Saturdays, which it has a Browns-Packers game, I want to say, as a Christmas game. So that's pretty big.
I don't know.
Thursday has 7 division winners playing. That's not good. NFC versus NFC is 6. AFC versus AFC is 5. Inter is 7. That's the most. Tampa Bay's got 2. Packers have 2. Cardinals have 2. Eagles have 2. Jets have 2. Cowboys have 2. Colts have 2. Cleveland and Atlanta has 2. Atlanta only has 2 primetime games. They're both Thursday
I
nights.
say Thursday night.
The teams that don't have to play Thursday, and they praise the Lord because who wants to play Thursday night football, are Vegas, Bills, Lions, Bears.
See, I wonder how they got away with that. 'Cause
Exactly.
every
I don't
team
understand.
Plays on Thursday
I don't understand.
night.
So, overall,
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
There are
Now we're waiting
20
all day for Thursday night.
and very obviously, Sunday night is their biggest game.
And it is, by the way, on Christmas, 2 good games. Well, lies for that one now because Prince Harry's down in the pond. But Browns, Packers in the afternoon. Colts, Cardinals, the nightcap on Christmas. But go ahead.
So, overall, NFC versus NFC is the most on primetime games, 21. AFC versus AFC is 16. And inner is 15. So there's almost as many inner as there are in AFC. So they very heavily skewed towards the NFC.
Yes.
So division-wise, the one division with the least is the AFC South with only 9. Yeah, 9 appearances.
Which you'd think it would have been the NFC East, but it's not.
Yep.
Because those Cowboys bringing in fans.
That's what it
Cowboys.
is. Next up is the AFC East with only 11, and that makes sense. Really, the only big team there is the Bills that they want to market.
Dolphins, yeah.
They don't, but the
They had
Patriots,
Dan Marino
the
at some
Patriots,
point.
the Patriots,
Only undefeated team ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Give them a chance.
The Patriots have 2 primetime games. One of them's a Thursday, and then one of them's a Monday because they put them. Oh, sorry, they have 3, I think.
Yes, they do have 3. They have one.
They
they're
play a
playing
Sunday night game. They play
against
Bucs.
The
Yep.
Bucs this week. Yes.
So the only reason they're really marketed because they're the ex-Brady team, and people want to see Mac Jones
Exactly.
and what he's got going on.
Yep.
So that's why the AFC East is a second. NFC East is actually 4th, least. So the next least is the AFC West. Did not expect that because the Raiders, had 2 Monday night games, but they only had 1 Sunday night game. They didn't have any Thursdays, so that's only 3. The Chiefs, surprisingly, only had 5. Now, granted, 5 is actually tied for the second biggest number. Well, so I don't know how it would be tied. Sorry, 5 is the second most out of any team. So there are a lot of teams with 5. There's only 1 team with 6. We'll see if you can guess it here in a bit.
Okay.
So the Chiefs had 5 games they played. So they're one of the most marketed teams, and that's heavily why the AFC West is there. The Chargers actually play 1 in each of the primetime slots. So I'm glad they put the Chargers on TV. And then the Broncos only had 1, and that was a Thursday night. They only played once on Thursday. Okay. So it's sad to be a Broncos fan. NFC East, Washington football team plays 1 of each. The Cowboys, like we talked about. And then, so next up is... There are 3 divisions that have 15. The AFC North, the NFC North, and the NFC South all have 15. A lot of that NFC South, though, is coming from the Bucs.
Yeah.
Heavily, because the Falcons and Panthers only play on Thursday night. Falcons play 2 Thursday night games. I mean, the Panthers only have 1 nationally televised game. I deeply think they regret that now because they're better than they thought they'd be.
Okay.
Come on.
Too much stock before
Sorry.
putting the cart before the horse.
Sorry, I'm getting excited.
A couple more weeks.
The only one I get to
overreact.
overreact because it's the Panthers. I'm so excited.
More consistent winning
so excited. I'm so excited. Come on, beat the Cowboys. And then I actually thought the Bucs would be the team that have the most, but I'm giving you too many hints. Okay. NFC West is the division with the most with 18. A lot of that. There's a lot of Rams games. There's a lot of Niners.
And a lot of Seahawks.
And a lot of Seahawks. Really, the only one that doesn't have a ton
Cardinals.
is the Cardinals. But even them, the Cardinals play everything once except... Actually, the Cardinals have 2 Thursday night games, and they have 1 Monday night game. They actually just don't have a Sunday. But Sunday, it seems to be their biggest night. They want to put the best game on Sunday night out of the...
Yes, when it used to be Monday Night Football.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
And now it's Sunday. And I think part of that's because it's NBC, and that's the most premier network.
Right, and it used to be ABC, who was
exactly.
the most network.
Exactly. So here we go. Top teams. The bottom teams, there are only 5 teams with 1 primetime game. From the AFC, there's 4. Jaguars, Broncos, Texans, Bengals. Jaguars, Bengals tonight on Thursday Night Football. No one's going to really care that much. Yeah, I know.
The Jets have more than 1?
Yeah, the Jets play twice on Thursday.
Really? They had to throw them a bone?
Yeah.
Must have been Joe Namath sponsoring his Social Security
pretty much.
Commercials.
They play 2. Keep in mind, they play the Jets play as many primetime Thursday night games as the Buccaneers. So let's put that in perspective.
Okay.
So
2.
Thursday night. I know, it's just wild when you think about it like that. And the only NFC team with 1 game is the Panthers. So that kind of sucks. All right, here we go. AFC, there are 3 teams of 5 games. The NFC, there are 6 teams with 5 teams with 5 games, and 1 team with 6.
Okay.
What is the team that has the most Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night games?
It's not the Bucks.
No.
Because they got 5.
Yeah.
It's not the Saints.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm thinking. Can I get the Jeopardy think music right now?
Yeah, I put it in.
I can't think of anything. It's not Seattle.
Nope. You gonna give up?
I'm not giving up yet. I'm thinking. It's not anybody from the NFC West.
No.
Because they're conglomerate. They're conglomerate. It makes
Yeah.
them 18.
Yeah.
They're not solely
It's a
there.
top-heavy division.
So let's see. It's not from the NFC South, and it's not the Green Bay.
It's Green Bay.
It is Green Bay?
Green
Okay.
Bay Packers have 6. 3 on Sunday night.
Okay.
2
on Monday and 1 on Thursday.
No, 2 on Thursday.
2
2 on
Thursday.
Monday and 3 on Sunday. No, sorry, not 2. 2. It's 1 on Monday. That's what it was.
Okay.
It's 1 on Monday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Sunday.
3 on Sunday.
3 on Sunday, yeah.
So that's 6.
I
yes.
can't math apparently, but
The math.
I think a lot what's going on there is because of the Rodgers Last Dance narrative. They want to put him on TV as much as possible.
right.
That's what's going on. It's the
That's right.
drama. So
It's possible.
Yep. The other teams are the Cowboys, Rams, Bucks, Niners, Saints. Not any surprise there. Those are very popular teams.
Yep.
The Bucks have Brady. The Rams are the biggest LA team. The
Yep.
Niners are the Niners. They're very historically great. The Saints have been very popular as of late, and the Cowboys are the America's team. For the AFC, it's Chiefs.
Wannabe America's
America's
But
team.
anyway.
For the AFC, it's Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens,
Makes sense.
Lamar and Mahomes, and then the Steelers, most successful team in NFL history. So,
Yes.
it's pretty much chalk, other than the fact that I did not expect a team from Green Bay, which is one of the smaller markets in the
It's
NFL.
the smallest market.
The smallest market in the
Smallest
NFL.
market.
But it's because they got Aaron Rodgers.
And you have a historic franchise
And it's a
there,
historic
too.
franchise.
We have to give them that.
But I'm saying,
Lombardi Trophy.
go Packers, getting
Go
the
Pack.
most. Do you
Go
think it'd
Pack,
be?
go.
I
Go
would put
Pack,
money
go.
when I
This
before
is a plug for you, AJ. Go Pack, go.
I would put money before I did this. It being the Bucks, because it feels like they play a lot of big games. But no, it's not the Bucks.
Well, it's all
So
about the
yeah,
money.
essentially, if you're gonna watch football, watch it on Sunday nights, and you're
Got the
probably
best
gonna see the
game.
Packers.
Yep.
So
Or the Bucks. Or the Steelers. Or the Ravens.
no,
Or
no.
the-
On Sunday, you have the highest chance of seeing the Niners, Chiefs, or Packers. So
Yeah, so there you go.
all 3 good teams. Trey Sermon was good for my fantasy team. Thank you, Trey Sermon.
Yes, I didn't even think he played that much last night, but
He just got a touchdown. That's all I needed.
that's all he needed.
So I hope you enjoyed. Did that live up to the
I
hype?
like that. I like because of the stats and the numbers.
Thank you,
know how I
thank
am
you.
about stats
So
and
yes,
numbers,
I like
so-
my stats and numbers. I hope I lived up to the hype of the greatest special
agree.
section as of yet.
Greatest all time.
The best
All time.
special section
For
yet.
now.
For
We
now.
still got plenty more show to go
Yeah.
this season. So, all right, happy time, people. Happy 62nd birthday, Jason Alexander. Jason Alexander, who portrayed George Costanza and starred in NBC's Seinfeld. His character was based off real life Larry David, and he was only successful basically for that period of his life as the Seinfeld curse lived on. With him as each Seinfeld side character beside Jerry, could not create another successful sitcom after the Seinfeld retirement. So, happy birthday, Jason Alexander. Good to see you on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes.
You got any
You know-
favorite George moments? You wanna
Oh
talk
man,
about?
so many. I love George. He actually, when I started watching Seinfeld, was my favorite character. He might still be my favorite. Actually, I just love. I love his antics. He's quite a wild fellow, and he reminds me of a friend I have. I find that humorous because I think of myself as Jerry, being the voice of reason of his friends.
Yes.
And Costanza. Oh man, I don't know what my favorite. I love the Summer of George. Well, Quinn, this is actually a perfect segue. October 1st, Seinfeld, every episode on Netflix.
Yep.
You'll be able to text me and be like, Ryan, watch this episode.
Yep.
Immediate.
There you are. And I should say also that TBS is ending its run on TV with Seinfeld, and it's going over to Comedy Central October 20th.
Really?
Give a reminder then. Yes, and if you haven't been along, so we haven't plugged Jeopardy in a while, we'll skip on to that. But Jeopardy, Mayim Bialik is now back at the helm for 6 weeks at Jeopardy, and then Ken Jennings will take over for the rest of this calendar year. But anyway, back to George.
You think it'll be Jennings eventually, like just overall?
No, because the reason they're not high on Jennings is kind of like what happened with Mike Richards, but they're preempting it, even though Jennings is on different game shows. But he had some very disparaging tweets about women in wheelchairs, and let's just say you can't have that. You can't be mocking disabled people and be the host of one of the longest ever game shows running. So anyway, we're going to move on. So happy anniversary to Baker Mayfield on this day.
What's today for Baker?
On this day, close to this day, 4 years ago, maybe 5, Baker Mayfield took the Sooners by storm and beat the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I think it's 5 years ago.
And it was 5 years ago.
Because it's his 4th NFL year.
That would make sense. So 5 years ago in Ohio State, and he planted that flag right in the middle of the block-o in the middle of the field. So it's a painful reminder for Ohio State fans of Baker Mayfield doing that.
I find it quite hilarious how Baker was like this big OSU fans hated him, and then perfectly he's drafted to the Browns, and now everyone loves him, and he's the savior, and I'm like, this couldn't have worked out any better. Right. It's hilarious.
Right. I mean, I think it's because people have to give up, they forego their college allegiances or their college hatred for athletes when they go to professional, because now if they're on their team, it's completely different. They got to forgo. I mean, that's how it has to be. But happy trails to the NFL record for the longest field goal. Yesterday, Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, who was connecting on 60, 61-yard field goals in pregame.
Yeah, I saw that.
Came and hit the game winner with a 66-yarder in Detroit to beat the Lions 19-17. Now, what should be conspicuous is the non-call of the delay of game when it was about 2 or 3 seconds after the play clock expired on the Ravens, where there should have been a penalty there, which might have ended the chances of getting that long field goal. So
it was a great moment, though.
It was a great moment.
Tucker's been the best kicker in the NFL the last couple of years.
I think
he's got quite a resume.
I'm going to say he's probably the greatest of all time, because kicking's more important now in the modern era
than it
is in the former era. So.
Well, especially when you can kick it far, too. It's like more, you can get more points.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, Tucker might go down as best ever. I think you're right.
I think
he's amazing. So I also saw an article that somebody posted that was like some Ravens beat writer that was like, getting rid of our old kicker was stupid. This Tucker kid doesn't know anything. And I was like, oh.
I forget who their old kicker was.
I forget.
It's been so long.
It's 2012.
It's been 10 years. 2012, it's been 10 years almost. So.
But, yeah, it was a great moment. And I saw a video of Lions fans. And he's like, oh, life of a Lions fan. Nothing ever goes our way.
That's right.
I was like, they are the perpetual losers.
Yep.
Now that the Browns are finally competitive, the Lions have taken the mantle of the perpetual losers.
Yes,
it's them and the Jets. They have to fight over being the biggest losers.
Yes, I agree.
At least the Jaguars have some excitement. They're excited losers.
Well, because they're building. They're building up. They got plenty of money to spend this offseason, so I wouldn't be down on them until.
I also stand by. You and I were right about Zach Wilson. He's good. It's just the fact he's with the Jets.
Exactly. Hopefully the Jets will have some money to spend too.
Goodness.
But all right, this is a new segment for this week as we close out before shout-outs and those things. It's called The Big Finish, and it's picks for this week's NFL games. And we're going to have 90 seconds. We'll throw it. We'll pick a winner for each game, giving you a sentence of explanation, and then when the bell rings, it's over. All right. So here we go. Tonight's Monday Night Football, Eagles-Cowboys. Ryan.
I'm taking the Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts. I like Devontae Smith. I like their connection. I really think the Eagles are a pretty good team at the moment. Not, contender, but they're good.
I'm going to take the Cowboys because I think Dak will have a big game against that Eagles defense. All right. All right. Week 4 here. Cleveland Browns versus Minnesota Vikings.
Browns. I like the Browns that are going on. Stefanski's going to rip up his old team.
Oh, I'm going to go with the Browns too. Not about Stefanski ripping up his old team, but I think the Vikings are teetering. But they could be a decent team if they want.
Especially if Cook's out.
Yes, especially that he's been injured. Seahawks versus 49ers.
This is tough. I'm going to go Seahawks. I think the Niners are still kind of reconvening after the loss to the Packers, and I think we're going to get Russ up in the kitchen. Put the chef hat on.
I think I'm going to go with the Seahawks, actually. And reluctantly, thanks to your explanation right there, the 49ers might be down and out there.
I'm telling you, I think the Seahawks are going to win this. I think the Seahawks can steal one.
The Seahawks need to pick me up right now.
Yep, I think they're going to steal one.
So, Ravens and Broncos.
I want to take the Broncos so bad, but I'm going to go with the Ravens. I feel like that's what's smart. They've been playing really well, and I think they're still riding that wave from that Chiefs win.
Well, I'm going to go with the Broncos here because of their defensive front. So we're going to see what happens there. Bridgewater has injected some energy in that offense.
Do it, yes.
And finally, biggest game next week, Cardinals versus Rams.
Gotta go Rams. Gotta go Rams.
I gotta go Rams too, just for that.
I think we did it under like a minute, maybe. We were blazing.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I'll time it up when you put it up.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'm listening. But all right, any shout outs here this week?
As always, at Sort of Sports Pod on the Twitter. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else I want to plug other than that. I mean, we really only have a Twitter, so we're pretty simple. Okay. And then, as I have a thank you, as always, and that thank you goes out to the one and only Justin Herbert for just being a good guy. He's a good guy.
And more thank yous for Joey Votto. He ran out.
No. They didn't make the wild card. It was going to go to Joey. It's going to be renamed the Joey Votto Award eventually at this rate.
I guess.
But the thank you is going to go out to Justin Herbert because I almost did a special section on him, and I want to make it up to him because I know he's an avid listener of the show. So I know I need to make sure I don't upset Justin Herbert. And he might also be slowly becoming my favorite NFL player. It's a real tough fight here because Darnold's putting up some great numbers. I like Darnold. I like Christian McCaffrey. I've always liked Christian McCaffrey. He's my favorite running back. So maybe McCaffrey will slide into the one spot. I still like Mahomes a lot. Don't get me wrong, but Herbert's cool. So Thank you, Justin Herbert. I still love Mahomes, but I kind of like what Herbert's got going on.
All right, real quick shout out to Dick Wolf, creator of Law & Order. Thanks for bringing back 2 series, SVU and Organized Crime, that just premiered this past season. This past Thursday. So check that out on NBC Thursday nights. All right. Thank you for listening to Season 2, Episode 2 of the podcast, The Big Salad, here at Sort of Sports. We will see you next week. This is Quinn Maseko speaking for the Big Salad Podcast, a Ryan Klinger production. Please note that portions of this podcast were edited before the final cut was produced, and this episode was recorded on September 27th. The sections of Toss-Up, What's the Word, and Happy Time are copied from the ESPN show Pardon the Interruption, and there was no intention to infringe on copyrights of these segments and their related music. Stay tuned for our next podcast next Monday here on the Sort of Sorts Podcast YouTube channel.